2020.
Yes.
For those not up to speed, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has been actively talking with key members of the House Financial Services Committee of combining SAFE with crypto reform as a way to handle the complexities of the legislative process and address the growing connections between cannabis and crypto in the regulatory world. Sounds a lot more complicated than it needs to be, but keep on going. Something to that effect. The proposed legislative package may be attached to a critical FAA reauthorization bill, which needs to be tapped. Public support for the cannabis banking reform right now is strong, and with significant bipartisan backing from top Representative Nancy Mace, arguing that passing safe banking will somehow block Democrats from retaking control of the House. Maybe? McNarlin believes that this merging of cannabis and crypto legislation represents a strategic alignment of policy initiatives that could significantly impact both industries, and by tackling the banking challenges faced by the cannabis sector through the broader scope of cryptocurrency regulation, lawmakers are proposing a forward-looking framework that could pave the way for more integrated and efficient regulatory approaches in the future. Well, here's what I believe. I've always been a proponent of crypto and cannabis, and I even pushed for a lot of the solutions that we, face in cannabis to be fixed using blockchain. A lot has changed over the last 4 years. So 4 years ago today, the world was in a totally different place. 6 months before yet another most important election of our lifetime, and we were over a month into COVID-19 pandemic. My little pandemic princess, Zora, had just turned a week old, and the whole world was on lockdown as fingers were pointed globally over who was really to blame. Poor communication, lack of transparency from government led to a spike in conspiracy theories and speculative conversations being had between folks who never talked to each other in the real world. Fist fights over toilet paper. Remember that shit, Jason?
Yeah, it was awesome.
The world was in a different place. It was chaos. But chaos breeds opportunity. In two places many at the time believed endless upside, endless opportunity would be for the foreseeable future, cannabis and crypto. Both lanes were down bad over the last couple of years and poised to break out. Weed business became essential business in many states, giving dispensaries and delivery services the ability to operate when most others remained shut down. With everybody suddenly at home, digital payments were on the rise and unregulated crypto ads were everywhere. Wouldn't be long before Tom Brady, Larry David, Jake Paul, Taylor Swift, even the president of the United States were all hawking a bunch of shitcoin tokens, NFTs, crypto-based investments that you had the privilege of clout chasing your way into debt over. What a time to be alive. We all know both Icarus Industries flew too close to the sun before, massive dives back down to reality, but both are once again top topics of discussion in the investment world. And this time it ain't Elon Musk or Lil Yachty pitching. It's the biggest mutual funds and investment managers in the world. So maybe we are at that tipping point, and maybe we will get to see this bacon stuff bill signed into law, and all of a sudden we'll have the privilege of buying legal weed with Dogecoin, and everything will be just fine. But I don't know. I'm Rico Lamitte, the dopest dad on the street for I9 News, and I hope you guys can hear this shit right here.
What is the only cryptocurrency that you should invest? It's the people's currency, you know it's the best. The most fun and ironic crypto, that is for sure. We're taking Dogecoin to the moon. And if a broker says, listen, you can't get rich with Dogecoin.
All right.
To the moon.
Yes. Cute, Rico. Very cute.
Is crypto going to save cannabis banking?
Well, you know what? I actually had a whole conversation about this over the weekend, and to my understanding, this is how safe banking is going to get across the finish line with it being coupled with the crypto banking, and it's going to go pretty quick. Like it's going to go before scheduling, to my understanding.
Good.
No, it's going to. It's going to. That's what I'm hearing.
You said the same thing about safe banking multiple times before, Jason. Just saying.
Yeah, but Rico, he had a whole conversation, not a half conversation, not a quarter conversation. He had a whole conversation over the weekend.
It was a long conversation.
Could happen. Yeah, plenty.
It was just another Ponzi scheme, man. It's like I just hope for the human race that somehow we grow up and emotionally mature and start to realize like everybody can't get more than they put in and have the thing still work. The system doesn't work that way. We really need to aim at something that is more like a circle where people put in and get out an equitable amount. But this thought that everybody can get more from investing, it's really a Ponzi scheme. And if we look at Earth and we try to do this with all of our resources, eventually we just mine them all up and we're
mine them all up.
You know, I was into Bitcoin when you could use it on the Pirate Bay and you could use it to buy drugs, honestly, on the dark web. Once people try to really posit it as a currency, it's not. It's a speculative instrument. It's like betting, and the whole thing just doesn't make any sense. And it's really just pushed forward by people's greed and short-sightedness.
Well, from what I hear, the next big influx of cash coming into the cannabis market is going to be cryptocurrency, and that's why this whole bill is getting tied together with one another.
You heard that in a full conversation or a half conversation?
That was just a quarter of the conversation.
That was a full combo. Combo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think we need to do. First of all, we need to do one thing, which is I think we need to separate the conversation around cryptocurrency from blockchain technology. I think blockchain technology is very exciting. I think cryptocurrency at some point is going to go to zero, and there's going to be some "I told you so"s. Just because I don't understand where the intrinsic value actually lies. And I think it's still great for headlines. Does this galvanize more support for safe banking from other constituents outside of cannabis? Yes, but safe banking has been legislative blue balls. It has been something that has been stood up as maybe providing a happy ending for the last couple years and has never gotten past the foreplay stage. Mm-hmm. And so every time people get really excited about it, I don't really understand why. The other thing that I think is really important to understand is that safe banking isn't a necessary law that needs to be passed in order for the banking industry to more aggressively and more cheaply bank the cannabis industry. That doesn't need to happen. We don't need any action on the legislative branch, and we could do it all from the executive branch, and we could reduce the requirements for suspicious reporting activity, lowering the cost to cannabis banking entities, and all of that could happen without this being passed. And so, yeah, I mean, I haven't had any partial conversations about this weekend, but I would just stand on the other side of this and bet you a bong hit that it's not going to go anywhere.
I would bet a bong hit. That's a fair bet. That's a solid bet right there, Yarl. I'm telling you, it's going to go. It's going to be before the summer. From what I'm
just
hearing.
think of this, man. So like 4 years ago today, Bitcoin was under 6,000.
Mm-hmm. And what's it at, like 50,000 now?
It would go into the stratosphere and then back down to like, the low teens, and now it's back. Right. There's a lot of volatility already in an election year, and just to add it again with all the shit that we're dealing with this go round from hell.
Well,
like, I would not touch any of this stuff. So if you're betting on stuff, man, you bet something small like a bong rip or something like that, like anything could happen. And I would not bet on any of this either going through or passing the way that they're framing it right now. Well, even if Jason Beck said it's a sure deal.
It's a sure deal. Like, sure thing. So here's the real question. Here's the real question, because I'm trying to figure this part out. How many cannabis companies, because these crypto bros want to invest their cryptocurrency into the cannabis industry, how many cannabis companies are going to accept cryptocurrency as a form of investment for their cannabis company? That's
all of them, because any cannabis company that is seeking capital is going to take it in crypto. They'll take it in a 55-gallon burlap sack of nickels if that's what it takes.
Any way they can get it.
All right,